to you about today. Today, we're talking about leadership swaps. So, changing one thing for another thing, right? So, I thought it would be fun to just start with this. What are you looking forward to most now that spring is here?
Um, Not the pollen.
I
Uh,
hear that.
Probably just the warm weather.
Yeah, yeah, warm weather for sure, man. Want to be able to be outside without lots of layers on.
Exactly. Just to be
Yeah,
outside and be like, it's just nice. It's just nice to be outside.
yeah, dude. I was outside yesterday, and I'm like, wow, like I don't have to overthink it. It just the weather's good.
Yeah, oh, that's the best.
It's like just go enjoy. There's a whole host of things, right? Like the weather's a thing. There are things you can start doing outside when spring happens. I love that like all the fresh fruit starts arriving.
Ah,
And
that's
it's like
good.
in season. Like you can get a strawberry anytime, but they don't taste good.
No.
And watermelon are starting to roll in, and you're like, dude, this stuff is sweet, right?
Oh, I love
Versus,
watermelon.
oh, that's my son's favorite, man. We buy a watermelon, he eats half of it, and the rest of the family eats the other half, right? Um, so yeah, just I love like the change of seasons is really what I like. Don't love the allergies. That's not fun. I'm always kind of ready for summer to be over when it's really hot, but
Yeah.
I like that things change, right? And so here's kind of the idea I want to explore today is that as leaders, consistency can really serve us well. It can be a friend to us when we have regular ways we do things, when people know what
Are
to
we going home?
expect. Um,
You're here till 3, right? Yeah, tomorrow. Sorry.
Dude, no
Sorry,
worry.
Brad.
No worry at all. So being dependable, like, and just kind of having a regular plan, that stuff is great. But there are times as leaders where I think we need to change it up. We need to kind of swap one kind of thing for another, like we do in the season. So I was thinking about this. Have you ever made kind of a small change, but it felt like a big upgrade? Like, man, that wasn't a lot more money. It's just something a little different, but it felt like, man, my life just got better.
Hmm.
Okay. Anything specific come to mind?
Toilet paper.
Dude, look at you, man. That's exactly the next slide. So my family and I shop at Costco, and we used to always buy the Costco toilet paper. And one time, the Charmin Ultra was on sale for the same price, so we threw it in the cart, and now I can't go back.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Dude, it's like for $2 more, it's that much better.
Yeah, it's no brainer. It really
It's
is.
yes. Or here's an example for me, man. I don't enjoy like ab exercises. I like to lift weights. I don't love core stuff. But then I discovered this exercise. It's called a dead bug. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Like you start
Nah.
with kind of both your knees bent, your arms up in the air, and then you alternate lowering like one and the other, and it like strengthens your core. And I'm like, I can't do like planks or curls all day, but I could do that all day. And it's like, oh, just a different thing. Like I don't hate nearly as much, right? So um, when you make an upgrade, sometimes there are big costs. Like the toilet paper is not a big cost. That exercise is just, free, whatever. But I was buying a plane ticket. I had to go to Orlando last week, and I was shopping plane tickets, and these were the literal prices. And if you look at the difference between the main cabin and the first class, like to sit on the same plane, leaving at the same time, going to the same place, getting mostly the same service, like $430 to sit in row 18, $1,609 to sit in the first four rows. Right. And so the swaps I want to talk about today and the upgrades do have a cost. They're not financial, it's change. Right. And I don't know, 5 to 10% of people really love change. The rest of us at times avoid change. So I'm going to suggest a few things to you today, and really the only thing it'll cost you is being willing to consider the change, right? So here's the first one: making a shift or a swap from thinking that something is done forever to well, it's done for now, right? At times as leaders, we love to get things done, and we think, oh, good. I wrote that checklist. I'm done writing that checklist forever. I trained somebody on ordering the truck. I'm done training truck forever. I, put a new system in for food waste. That's done. Great. I want to suggest to you it is done until it isn't done, right? But making that shift in your head, like, hey, it's done for now, but I'm probably going to have to go back and revisit it at some point. So I love a to-do list, man. I have to-do list that I operate from, and I like checking things off that list a lot. So much so that I did it today. I did something that wasn't on my list. I typed it in so I could check it off. Like not so there's a record of it, just for the satisfaction of I did make that reservation and it's done, right? But at times I've seen leaders like get frustrated because they already had put time into something and now 4 months later they have to come back and redo it. And I don't know if that's true for you. If you ever get frustrated because you're like, man, I already built that system. Why do I have to rework it? Or I've seen people put something together and then they move on and somebody comes behind them. I have a young leader right now. He wrote a training plan for the back of house, put 2, 3 months into it. And he moved over to another role. And the first thing the new person in his role did was rewrite his training plan. And he was like, dude, that was done. And it's like, well, it's not always done. Like it's done, but it's not done forever. So, some ways I see this pop up at Chick-fil-A. It's easy to think, dude, we're staffed. Well, no, you're staffed today. Like you're fully staffed until three people like, hey Tim, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm putting in my
Yeah.
notes. And so, like for the people in HR, man, I would say stop thinking you're staffed. Start thinking you're always hiring. We are always looking for good people. Now, if we're pretty fully staffed, then we're really picky. We are only taking like A+ people, but we're never like, oh, we're good. No, you're only good until people start quitting, right? Or changing their availability or whatever. So, really, in your area, like, stop thinking everybody's trained. Start thinking, no, we're always training. We're always cross training. We're always coming back and making sure, yes, we're following pathway. Yes, we're learning new things, right? Like, um, I see this show up a lot with the financial piece because when you train people, you have to have more labor,
Mhm.
right? And we'll say, well, dude, it's just for today. It's like only for this month. We got to train. No, no, you're always going to be training somebody, right? So, and then instead of like, well, I developed people, make the shift to think, no, I'm always developing somebody. I'm always developing new leaders because again, you know, if our turnover rate is like excellent at 60%, that means we're always replacing leaders. Got to have people in the pipeline. And then just that general idea from thinking, man, that's done to now I'm always trying to make it better. Yeah, I wrote the checklist, but now that we've used it to close a few nights, I'm going to spend time because I realized we can add things to it. Or I realized, like, actually, that's on two different checklists. It doesn't need to be in both places at once, right? So, um, anything like that come to mind for you? Like, are you responsible for anything that you think would benefit from you just kind of not thinking it's finished forever, but you're like, okay, I'm good for now.
Um, I know definitely in the past I've made the mistake of like we're staffed and then like we lose like four people
Yep.
and then it's like, oh well, we're not staffed anymore. I've definitely
Yep.
made that mistake before, but like currently I can't think of anything where it's like this is done, like I don't have to worry about it
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's usually like because like it's happened to me enough times where it's just like,
You've learned this.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when I first started, I was like, oh, this is done, and I'll it's done. Like I don't have to worry
Yes.
about it. And then like
Yes.
a month later or a week later, whatever, it's back, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess it wasn't done.
Yeah. That's
And
right.
then it's just gotten to the point where it's like, eventually, I know I'll have to get back to it. It's
Yes.
just at what point in time.
Yeah. That's right, man. No, no, that
That's
dude, you're there. That's it. And, but like you said, like most leaders go through this learning curve because so many things in life it's like no no I check it off and it's set and it's like no no in the food business it's never really set.
yeah,
It's just good for now, right?
for
um
now.
for now,
That's
even
the
when
key
you're
word.
like, hey, my leadership pipeline's full, hey, like the business is humming, well good. But I had an operator the other day, he said, I just had four people quit. I said, Like, were there any common themes? He said, no, but this always happens. Like every so often, like three or four people will quit. And it's not because they're all mad at Tim, because Tim's a tyrant in the kitchen. Like one got into college, and others taking a job in their career field they wanted. Another one's retiring. I don't know,
Yeah.
but like it happens like that. So
Yeah.
that's one swap. Here's another one. I think we do well as leaders when we shift from thinking things have to be perfect to saying, I want them to work really, really well, right? Instead of like, man, I need to make that thing like 100%. We need to say, no, it needs to be good enough that we get good results. But since it's never really finished anyway, it doesn't have to be perfect. So, how about you, man? Do you have any perfectionistic tendencies?
No, that was beaten out of me back in college.
Oh,
Uh,
tell me a story, man. I want to know.
yeah. So, like, uh, I studied computer science. That was my
Ah,
bachelor's. That's what my
that's right.
bachelor's is in.
That's right.
And like when you're developing a program for anything, like I was like in this particular story, I was developing a like a really rudimentary operating system in Linux.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
And like it was hard. It was really hard. Like
Mm,
I you have to think like at the lowest level of computing to like make it work.
hmm
And when you think in that like when you're in the weeds that deep,
mm,
you can always make it more efficient. You
yes.
can always make it more efficient what
Yes.
in terms of like time, in terms of like memory
That's
usage.
good.
Um and it's just like I could keep trying to fix it and make it faster and faster, or I
hmm
can just make it work.
Yep.
And it's
Exactly.
just I made it work and I just hit the deadline for submitting it and I was like, thank God. Oh,
No, dude, that's so good because I can't tell you how many leaders I work with who they came from like an academic world where if I just stay up all night, I can get 100.
hmm.
If I'll just put all the time in, it can be like an A plus. And not only does everything not need to be an A plus, a lot of things can't be, right? So sometimes people won't ever roll anything out. Like I'll talk to leaders and it'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute. Didn't you say you were going to have that done 2 months ago? Oh, it's not good enough yet." I'm like, "Well, dude, just get it out there. Make it better as you go, right?" Or they'll get really nitpicky about something that is not super important in the business, and they're like, "No, no, it can be more efficient." And it's like, it's efficient enough, right? So even though you've mastered this one, you're probably going to lead some people that might struggle with it at times. So let me give you some thoughts on why we shouldn't chase perfect first, because excellent and consistent execution is actually realistic. You may have a perfect hour in the kitchen. You may have a perfect shift in the kitchen, but they're not going to be a lot of them,
No.
right? Like there just won't be. Now, what we can be is consistent and excellent, right? Like we can be like, hey, we get really good marks for food quality. Our speed of service is consistently good, right? And so I would say perfect's not realistic. The other thing is like you only have so much time, so much energy, so much focus. So what it really takes, like you were saying, if you got nerdy about this line of code in Linux, like you might be able to make that perfect, but then you couldn't turn the thing in,
Hmm.
right? So, and then the other thing, and this is interesting, I think we forget this. Working on something longer doesn't always make it better. So you've probably heard of like the idea of diminishing returns, right?
Yeah.
And so this graph shows like there's a certain amount of effort you put into something to get it to like 85 or 90%. And you would think, well, it's only going to take 10% more effort to get it to 100. No, no. It takes almost as much effort again to get it to 100. And then if you don't stop working on it, it actually gets worse, right? And so I would say over investing our time and energy or people in something is poor investment. This was interesting to me. This is a chart about a study that was done about the benefit of walking a certain amount of steps per day. So you see at the bottom, 0 steps to 16,000 steps. And then the vertical matrix is about like the reduction of like um, mortality. So like you'll see like as you walk more steps, like the hazard to your health is going down, right? So on the and but you'll see here like you get a lot of the benefit at about 7 to 8,000 steps. It doesn't get twice as good at 16,000.
Hmm.
So like doubling the effort does not give you much better results. And interestingly, the blue line is like us. We're both under the age of 60. The red line are people 60 and higher. And if you'll notice kind of where that circle is, doing more actually makes their risk of like death go back up. So, I mean, you'd be like, oh, he's retired. Go ahead and walk 16,000 steps. No, 16,000 steps is actually worse for you. Like the sweet spot, Grandma, is at about 8,500. Go to 8,500 and call it good, even if you got time on your hands, because doing too much can actually be counterproductive, right? So I think the way I like to say it is something working well always beats like, well, it's not ready. I'm working on it,
Yes.
right? A system of like tracking food costs that's working well is better than the perfect system you haven't taught anybody yet. And what I usually say is exactly what you said, man. Think more like the tech world. Because what does tech say? Launch it and we'll fix it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
here, we're going to put out a new phone, get it in people's hands, usually in the company, and then they'll start telling you what doesn't work and you'll fix it. Right? Beta testing. And so, I advocate all the time, man, to our leaders like, man, just start using your system. Use the checklist. You're going to find 3 or 4 things are missing. Or use your food waste system and you'll figure out, like, oh, we're recording it this way. If we would actually use this formula, this format, it'd be better. But nobody's going to ever know that when it's on my laptop, right? So, are there any exceptions? I would say there are two. If you have something that is like a super high stakes area, it's better to obsess about it. Or if you're like, hey, if Jim said, all I care about this year is this goal, I don't really want our numbers to go to crap, but I want to be top 10 in food taste and quality in the whole chain. Well, then it might be worth like, all right, the systems that are working well, I'm just going to let run. I'm going to put all my energy and my thought, my creativity into the one goal. So for you, like I know food safety is huge, right? So yeah, you're going to obsess a little more about food safety maybe than inventory,
Hmm.
right? You'd be like, well, man, I want to keep my one, or I want to get to a one, or I want to get Guardian, or I want to maintain Guardian, or
Yeah.
I want Deloitte to come in here and have nothing to pick on me about. Or like I've seen teams win like the symbol of success. This is at Chick-fil-A when your sales increase by like 18% in a given year. And that's a huge thing. And I've seen people chase it and they're like, look, we are just focused on sales, 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 sales. We don't want to, we're okay being in the top 30% as long as our sales numbers are up. Right. And then it's okay to say, well, look, then I will. If it look, okay, Jim, if it's sales, I'm focused on catering because that's going to move our numbers, right? Or I'm focused on, I don't know, whatever it would be in the back of the house. So, how do you feel like you're doing with this? It sounds like you're good on this one too. Have you ever like worked on something too long and not rolled it out? Um,
I've definitely done things where it's like I've worked on them too long, but like just like from college, it's like I recognize like, oh, this is taking too long. Like I'm just sitting here
yes,
and it's better to have something that functions and
yes,
fixes it later. And like maybe I don't need to fix it later.
yes,
Maybe it works and like that's even better. Save more time.
yes. Have you ever seen that in other parts of the business? Are there any other directors that are just a little bit more perfectionistic and you guys have meetings and you're like, hey, where's that new training plan? They're like, oh, it's just not done yet.
I haven't seen that directly,
Okay, good.
but I mean like I could definitely see like some of the other directors like they might like focus too much on like a goal in mind, but not nothing too
Good.
detrimental to that
Good, good,
either.
good. Well, good, man. So good again. All right, here's my third one. And it really is around this idea of needing a team of people, right? So I think it's fun to lead with a team of people, and it's fun to get together and like ask questions like this. Like, so who's next? Who are our next leaders? And anytime I've been on teams, we ask that question. We usually ask, names pop up. Well, it might be Jacob, it might be Lacey, it might be, whoever. And then we always kind of ask this question: what are they ready?
Hmm.
Like, who's ready for more? Who could run a shift for you? Who could be an assistant for you? And here's the third swap I want to talk to you about. We I think we do well when we exchange the idea that people are going to be fully ready to asking, are they ready enough? Right? We want them to be like fully ready. I can just hand it to them and they can do it. And sometimes we need to go, no, no, they just got to be ready enough. Well, here's what I mean. So, can you ride a bike?
Yeah.
How'd you learn to ride a bike?
Um, I was like maybe like 6 years old,
Okay.
and I remember being I remember this. It was in the summertime,
Mm,
and we got this hand-me-down bike from my cousin,
nice.
and my dad was out there with me, and my mom and my sister, and I were learning to ride the same bike together.
Mm.
And I remember because I was able to start doing it before her, she got so upset. It was so funny.
And
Um,
you didn't rub that
yeah,
in or anything, did you?
I
As a
would
big
never.
brother.
I would
Yeah.
never.
No, come on.
And yeah, I just did it, and then at some point it just worked.
Did you have training wheels or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. So you start out on the training wheels, everybody can ride the bike because you don't have to balance. You just have to
Hmm.
pedal and steer. And then that day comes, right, where you take the training wheels off and mom or dad is there and they're like, all right, I'm going to hold on to you and I'm going to let you start going. And then at some point, I just have to let go. And you might wobble and ride, which is what you did. You might wobble and crash, which is what your sister might have done, right?
Yeah, she definitely did.
But the truth is, until you take the training wheels off, you don't really know because they haven't had a chance to try really. So here's kind of an idea I keep thinking about. Like, what if you really can't be fully ready until you're actually doing the job, right? So how about you? Like, you're the kitchen director. Were you fully ready to be the kitchen director when they gave it to you, or
No,
were you ready enough that they're like, man, we trust Tim's going to figure it out?
ready enough. Definitely
Yeah.
ready enough.
So give me an example. What's one skill that like you really could not learn until you were doing the job?
Scheduling for one.
Ooh,
Never had to do that before, and then it was just like I got shown a couple weeks, and they're like, "All right, it's you," and I'm like,
it's you.
"Oh, okay."
Did you wobble a little bit? Were people like, Tim, you're jacking with my schedule, man. What's going
Uh,
on here?
a little bit's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
I wobbled a decent bit, but I got
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, dude, I think it's inevitable, right? And
Hmm.
so I think as we're thinking about people to lead in our business, we need to make sure we're differentiating between, do they have the character and commitment versus do they have all the skills already in place? Right? So you're looking for somebody to raise up on your leadership pipeline in the kitchen. You're thinking like, are they engaged? Do they show up on time? Do they have a good work ethic? When I ask them to do something, are they sure, Tim? No problem. I'm happy to do it, right? Are they teachable? Are they humble, right? Versus like, well, do they already know how to make the schedule? No, they don't. So, any guess at what this is on the screen?
Um, a diamond?
It is a diamond, right? But it doesn't look like this,
Yeah.
right? This is a diamond as you find it in the mine. This is a diamond after multiple people have probably put a lot of work into it, right? And I think sometimes when we think who could be the next in our leadership pipeline, we're looking more for this than for this, right? And I think we need to be looking for that character and commitment and potential that we can polish and
Hmm.
shine, right? And, not my quote, but somebody once said this, man, diamonds in the rough are usually found in the rough, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
usually, yeah, they're not
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, they don't have everything yet. And yet I've sat with a lot of leadership teams like, we don't have any potential leaders. I'm like, you have 100 people. That can't be true.
Hmm.
What they mean is we don't have anybody who's 100% ready. And I'm like, no, you won't. You got to find people that you think you can get ready, right? You got to go find this and then shape it and polish it and work on it and let them work on it. And eventually you're like, oh man, they're just a gem. Well, yeah, but they didn't always look that way. Right. So here's a different way to say it, man. If you're promoting people who can step in and perfectly do the job on day one, you waited too long. If they can step in and run the kitchen flawlessly the first time you let them, they probably could have done most of that months ago.
Hmm.
And, some of this is just our expectations. So in the business world, there's this cool thing happening right now called micro internships. And instead of giving people like 6-month internships, a lot of businesses are saying, hey, we want you to join us, Tim, for this project. And the project might be 3 weeks. Okay. And during this project, man, here's your role. And they're watching how you perform. And if you do well, they might say, hey, we got an 8-week project. You want to come back?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think there's something we can take from that at Chick-fil-A. Like, I just need to give people a small opportunity and I can test them. Hey, I'm going on break. You're in charge of the kitchen for 30 minutes. You're not going to burn it down, right? But I'm
Yeah.
going to get a little chance to see how did you do when you were in charge. Or like, hey, I know normally, you're our breader, but today our machines person called out. I need you to come on machines for the next hour. Okay, I get a chance to kind of see, right?
Hmm.
Or, hey, here's a checklist I normally do. Would you take care of these 3 items? I'm going to do these 6 items. Okay, how do they do with that responsibility? So, the idea is at times, because you're a great leader, if you're there, people are going to let you do it. And they'll think, well, Tim's so good, he doesn't need my help, he's got it. And at times you might have to step back a little bit or even step out or away to give somebody else a chance to step up. So, true story, I'm talking to a Chick-fil-A in Georgia. I'm talking to a front of house leader, and I said, hey, what happened this month? What's good? And they said, this really cool thing happened. One of our shift leaders called out. And I said, that doesn't sound cool. That sounds like a pain in the butt. And they're like, no, no,
Yeah.
that was not cool. But what was really cool is this girl on our team who is not a leader, isn't a certified trainer, hasn't applied for any leadership, came up to the director on shift and said, I think I can run the shift if you'll let me try.
Wow.
And the director was like, I'm going to be here. Why don't I let her try? If it goes bad, I can step in. And he's like, sure, go ahead. You're in charge. Hey, everybody, she's running the shift. And she ran the shift really well. And then interestingly, the person who called out rallied and came in. And when they came in, this other person who had been leading completely pulled back and just acted like a team member. And that director is like, oh, I get it. Like, as long as there's a strong leader in front of them, they're never going to raise their hand or say, hey, let me try. But when there's a void, when there's like, hey, I've got to go take this call, can you be in charge? They had the capacity to step up. On a bigger level, I was sitting with a store in Florida that was getting ready to go for MRO, try to get a second restaurant, and it was the director team with the operator, and kind of the person they were kind of the most senior director looked at the operator because I'm saying, tell me your story, tell me about the business, and he said, actually, I got a lot better when she wasn't here. The operator's a lady,
Oh,
and
okay.
she had a health thing. She had to be out for about 6 weeks. And with her absence, he had to step up. And he's like, as long as she was here doing these things, I didn't have to do them. But when she was in the hospital, when she was at home recovering, somebody had to do them. So I learned how to do them. And that taught me a lesson like, man, maybe people are more ready than we think they are. They just need there to be a little bit of a void, or they need like the person they always look to just isn't there that day. Right. So, and again, I think that can be really small. It can be like, hey, I have to go sit down with Jim for 15 minutes. Can you take care of this while I do that? Right.
Yeah.
So, who comes to mind in your kitchen, man? Who might be just ready enough to take on a little bit more?
Yeah, already have a guy in mind. His name's Logan. He's
Mm,
it's his senior year in high school, and he's
okay.
been with us for just I think a whole year now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a whole year last month. And oh, you're good, Nicole. Um, and he's been with us through like thick and thin, and
Mm,
like he wants to move up,
yeah.
and so like I'm just waiting for him to graduate high school,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we can like fully invest his time, so he's not like dividing it between school and work.
Yeah.
And like you gave me the idea. It's like, well, like why not like for 30 minutes I like take a break or whatever, and I
Yeah.
have him watch the floor. I think that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah. Or
An
teach him
hour.
something. And then the next time you need that thing done, say, hey, do you remember I
Do
taught you how
whatever.
to change that filter.
Yeah.
I taught you. I mean, it could be small. Do you think you could do it? Yeah. Well, go ahead and try. I'm going to take care of something else.
That's
And that
yeah.
you can use that as a test. Like, how did Logan do? Well,
Hmm.
even if he doesn't perform well, did he try? Like, did he care? Was he,
Yeah.
dude, that could be really cool. I got one more for you. And it kind of goes a little bit with what you're talking about when you're like, I think Logan's been here a whole year. And I think it's this swap from being surprised by things happening to realizing that there's so many things that happen on a recurring cycle. So, um, I've been asking people this question this month. When you take a road trip, which part feels longer to you, the trip there or the trip back home?
Trip back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always is.
Yeah. It's something called the return trip effect, right? Like you're on the way there, you're like, you're anticipating. And then on the way home, you're like, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen it. We drove this way. Like there's nothing new. I mean, probably there's not much that's surprising, right? So, um, I think that's true in our business and in our leadership. Like things run in cycles. Sometimes it's literally tied to the calendar. So, for example, come August, if you have kids going to college, you're probably going to lose them. Come May, if you had kids at college that come back and want to work, you're going to get them back,
Yeah.
right? Come Thanksgiving to Christmas, you're going to have a lot of catering, right? Like it just happens every single year, right? They're going to roll out specials for you to learn and teach your crew about I don't know,
Every
2 months,
quarter, every
every
other
quarter,
quarter.
right? And it's like, don't be surprised. It's going to happen again. So, how about you? As you think about the kitchen, are there any rhythms or cycles that you're like, there it is again? Yeah, that it must be that time this year because that's about when that always hits.
I mean, like since the warmer weather's coming out, it's just like you just notice people are like just showing up more. We're just slowly getting busier and busier with the warmer
Mm,
weather.
traffic, like business
Yeah.
traffic. Yeah, because they don't have to worry, like, are the roads crap? I don't want to put on 8 layers of clothing.
Yeah. That's
Just go
all it
hop in the
takes is for
car.
someone to just be like, oh, or like sports too. Sports are starting now. So it's just like
Mm,
Saturdays are mad busy. It's so busy.
yeah. Oh, there's a good example. What does it do to your business when school is out during the week? Like it's a holiday on Monday. What happens to your business?
We got crazy busy because everyone
Yeah.
wants food. Yeah.
Yeah, because the kids are out of school. We got to do something with them. Let's take them to Chick-fil-A, right? So,
You look so.
um,
You're good, bro.
I was squirting the gun out of my
Uh,
car. They were like, "You can't do
uh,
that. You're gonna get out."
Liam, I'm sorry. I'm in a. No, you're good. It's all right. You're good. You're good.
no
You're
worries,
good,
man.
Liam. Don't worry.
No, hey, when you're audit trading in an office, there's a recurring cycle of people knocking on that door, right? Because
Yeah,
they got to
that
come in
always
and use the
happens.
break room, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think there's lots of these things. Like there are trends with staffing, there are trends with catering, there are trends with turnover, there are trends with sales, with leaders, with and just the calendar, right? With labor. Like, yeah, labor always gets really challenging when the sales get low. Yeah, don't be surprised by that or pissed off by it. Like you can see that coming,
Yeah.
right?
It's a new. It's nothing new.
No, there's nothing new. So I kind of like to think about it this way. Are you a roller coaster guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it like when you're riding a roller coaster for the very first time?
Oh, it's a lot more fun. It's super anticipating, and it's just like the first time's always the best. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, because you don't really know. I mean, you might have looked at it from the ground. You've been like,
Yeah.
you go upside down there, there's another hill there. But like, then you're on it. You get to the top of that hill and you're like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you're not sitting in the front car. You can't really fully see it. So that's what happens the first time. What happens the 10th time you ride the same roller coaster?
Uh, it's like it's just nothing new. It's your Like it's still fun,
It's still
but
fun.
you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So you're riding a roller coaster, and like there's, I know sometimes they do this. Like you go up to the top, and it's not a big drop. They're like,
Yeah.
ah, psych. And then you go a little further, and there you go down. Like the first time that happens, like it's exhilarating, it catches you off guard. The 10th time, you're braced for it, right? Or there's a blind bank to the left. Like the first time, you get slammed against the car. And then the 10th time you're like, I know it's coming. I just kind of tense up so I don't get whipped against the
Yeah.
side of the thing, right? And so I always think about like the cycles in our business. Once you go through them a couple times, you know what's coming. You might not know who's quitting, but you know somebody's going to quit.
Yeah.
You might not know what special they're rolling out, but they're rolling out a special. You might not know exactly how much catering you're going to have the last week of school for teacher appreciation, but you know you're going to have some catering for teacher appreciation, right? So, anytime it's our first time on the ride, we've never ridden it before, and that could even be a new role. Maybe 6 months from now, they're like, Tim, you're in charge of the drive through. You'd be like, well, I know the kitchen, but I don't know the rhythms of the drive through, right? So you would go to Larita or George and be like, hey, tell me what to expect.
Hmm.
Or you might even dig into the analytics to be like, oh, I thought our busiest drive through day was Friday night, but like when I really look at the data, it looks like we're actually busier for breakfast on Saturday, right? So just not being surprised. And even like being able to track or plan ahead, like, man, I know we always go through more of this particular thing in the kitchen. Like, can you start to see a change in what people are ordering yet as the weather gets warmer?
Salads.
Salads are going up, right?
Mm.
So instead of having that bump where like, oh, salads doubled, we didn't have enough, I had to go borrow it. Looking at Chick-fil-A's year over year data, you know what? Our salads go up 50% about the end of April every year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to start getting ready for that. Maybe that means I'm going to need 4 more hours of prep on salads, right? So just kind of tracking it. Or, man, I know every time the kids are out of school for teacher work day, we get slammed. Okay, let me look at the local school calendar. Oh, look, here are the days they're out. I can already know in advance we're probably going to be busier, right? So I think just thinking of the ways where you can not be surprised and not be like, oh crap, this is happening again. Well, yeah, you knew that was going to come.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about it, but you could be thinking about it, right? Like I just paid my taxes. They're due every year this time of year. I shouldn't be surprised, right? I had money in the bank
That's what
for it,
happens.
but yeah, I should know. Like, oh yeah, and my homeowners was due. Oh yeah, it's due every March, right? Like, oh, then the card registrations were due. Yeah, it tells me May. They're due every May. Um, so I just need to make sure I put it on a calendar, or it could even be like, hey, I've got notes for each month of the year, and it's like, hey, before the next month, think about this stuff. Hey, make sure you're hiring in June for the kitchen because come August, some of our high schoolers are going to change their availability, right? Well, we
Yeah.
got 4 seniors this year. 3 of them are going to school out of state. They're not going to work here. Like, I don't need to learn that when they turn their notice in. Like, they already told me they're going to Florida for college.
Like
I
you know
should
it's
be
gonna
able to,
happen.
yeah, I should be able in advance to say, I'm going to need 3 more nighttime kitchen people. So, tell me how you do with that, man. How do you do with that idea of kind of seeing ahead a little bit and kind of anticipating the needs in the kitchen?
Yeah, like I mean like you said, like I have a few seniors and I've already been picking their brains like, oh, so like what are you gonna do after high school?
Hmm.
What are you interested in?
Hmm.
And I hear like, oh, like I plan to go to college in like Louisiana or like,
Hmm.
oh, I plan to go to like our local community college. So it's just,
Yes.
oh, okay. So it's like I can plan and figure out like, well, I'm gonna miss this person that's gonna go to Louisiana. Like that's
Excited for them, right?
yeah, like
Awesome
great,
for
that's great,
them,
that's
right?
great. But I gotta plan ahead for that.
Yes.
And then the other one's going to community college. It's like, oh, okay. So like, do you want to like work here part time? Is that your plan? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And it's like they'll work here part time, and then like I basically have been going to like each of my like seniors in high school, and just being like, oh, so where are you at? What are you thinking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. And I know some people they like my morning people, they work 2 jobs. This is their
Mhm.
like one job, and then at night they work
Yes.
another job.
Yes.
And what I'll do is like, oh, I was like, how's it going along working like 2 jobs? Are you
Hmm.
tired?
Hmm.
Like, if you're interested, you go work here full time, get a bit of a pay raise.
Hmm.
I try and fish around like that too, just to see where people are at.
Tim, that is so smart. It is not only smart, like because it gives you intel, like to help you plan ahead, but you're also building relationships, connecting with people.
Yeah.
Like that's important, man. When they're like, man, Tim knows I work 2 jobs. Wow.
You're hey. He just like froze up.
That's all right.
So, dude, I
Oh,
think that is awesome.
sorry, Fred, real quick. I gotta answer his question.
No, no problem, man.
What's up?
Is there a reason why Liam Neeson crossed over the setup?
I wasn't sure if he was coming in.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah, I know, I saw him.
I just because I made the setup without it. I just figured he was called out.
Oh, well, he's here.
Yeah.
So that's good news.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, dude, I think Tim, you feel like you're on top of a lot of these, man. I definitely work with some leaders that struggle with multiples. It feels to me like you might not have had words for it, but you're like, yeah, I've kind of already figured that out, or I've experienced that, or I've had to learn that.
Yeah, it definitely this live training is something like I've definitely encountered a lot more of compared to like basically all the other ones. All the other ones, it's like there's always something new, and like this one, it's just basically putting to words what I didn't realize I was doing
Good,
for the most
good,
part. There's
good, man.
definitely like
Yeah, yeah, that's a win,
there's
man.
definitely
Yeah,
some like things here that I'm like, oh, this is an interesting way to frame it. Like the one I really liked was like fully ready to ready enough. I
yeah,
like that a lot
yeah,
because it's just like when I think somebody's ready, it's just like when I say it in my head, I'm like, yeah, they're ready. Like they know everything. And it's just like it's just a nice way to frame it because then it's like maybe I don't have to wait so long to promote
yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, man. I think the more we lean into that approach, the more people we have a sense like she could handle it, he could handle it. That I like their character. Yeah, I think they've got potential. Rather than waiting to like, oh, well, they now know everything. Because you
Hmm.
didn't know everything when you got put in charge,
Not at
right?
all.
So I think what that does then for them is they're like, man, Tim like is asking me to do stuff. Like Tim's interested in me. He trusted me to run the break. So I
Yeah.
think it can be really good for them too.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Good. Well, good, brother. Hey, man, I hope the woodworking goes really, really well.
No, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be fun.
I'm sure your mom is going to love that you made something for her.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Like that's all it really takes. Like I've made like things for her, just like little things. Like sometimes it's
Mm,
just food, sometimes it's just like a little like whatever, just to be like thoughtful about it, and she always loves it.
yeah, man. Moms just love that you're thinking about them.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
great.
Well, dude, hey, there's a handout for this training in the portal, and maybe just a final word, man. I think the times when I learn things and I'm like, yeah, yeah, I kind of know that. I try to get this little bug in my brain, like, so who else do I need to tell? If
Mm,
you've already learned this lesson, chances are there are people on your team they haven't bumped up against this stuff yet.
yeah,
And so even if this just gives you words to say, hey, I love that you're trying to make that perfect, just make it good enough. And then we'll go back and we'll make it better. But
hmm,
let's start using that thing I asked you to develop that you developed, right? Or you know what? Hey, I hate to say this because we don't want to discourage people to not make cleaning perfect, but like, hey, we're mid shift. We're gonna keep bread and chicken all day. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to make it perfect because in about 10 minutes we're gonna have more egg wash on here.
yeah. This is only
But
so much you can reasonably clean.
yeah, we need you to make it good. Make it good. But this is a working kitchen, right? We're gonna keep empty the trash. You don't have to go spray the cans out at 2 o'clock. We're gonna keep putting trash in them,
Yeah,
right? So maybe for you, this will be like, oh, where do I see these things pop up with other people I can help pass this wisdom along?
yeah, definitely like putting it to words. It's like the one thing I always find really helpful is like if it's something I already know
Mm,
intuitively for whatever reason, just hearing it like put into words or on paper, like helps reinforce that I know it, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
that's right,
Because
man.
it's like I'll hear it and I'm like, oh, I already knew that. Oh, that was a
Yes,
nice surprise.
yes. I feel the
And it's just
same
like
way, man.
it's just being able to like recognize and then like apply it and then share that knowledge.
Good
It's
deal.
really like this was like I think this was a really good one.
Good, man. I love hearing that. Thanks for the feedback.
Of
All right,
course.
buddy. I'll be excited to see you next month, and
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure you have all 10 fingers left, right?
I'll show you I have all 10
All
next
right.
time.
I'll take it. All right, buddy. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.